Morning everyone. So we are now going into summer term week 4 and it's the start of week 8 of lockdown. So it's all just going on and on and on, isn't it? So listen, I hope you've really enjoyed the nice weather that we had over the last few days. And I don't know about you, but I really appreciated not having to do any schoolwork in my mind on Friday because it was a bank holiday. So do you know what I'd really like this week, if you get the opportunity, is to send me some pictures of anything that you did for VE Day. Maybe you made some flags, maybe you decorated your garden, maybe you had a little tea cake thing with your family in your house. Maybe some of you even were able to do something on your street, I don't know, obviously social distancing and all that stuff. But I'd really love to know what you got up to on the bank holiday for VE Day. Now, if you didn't take the opportunity to educate yourself and learn a little bit more about VE Day, then maybe you could do that this week. I know there were some really useful BBC videos that you can search for online. My children watch them, and because they don't really know anything about World War II yet. So they were a bit confused why they were making bunting and putting things up in the front of our house. So they've done a little bit of research, and if you guys don't know a lot, then you could do the same. Now, really interestingly, I was going to mention this to you anyway, but I actually had an email from a parent with a link which I've actually put on the beginning of the VLE, where you can actually write to a veteran. And obviously there are fewer and fewer veterans still alive because it's 75 years since the end of World War II, and if they were old enough to fight, then they're sort of in their 90s now. But interestingly, after I got the link from the parent, which I put on the VLE for you, one of the students in our year group, Juliet, has actually already written to a veteran and got a really long letter back from a 97-year-old man who's telling her all about all the things that he got up to in the war, which is absolutely incredible. And I really hope, Juliet, that you bring that in when we get back to school. That'd be amazing. And so if anybody else is interested in it, then follow the link that I've put on the VLE and write a letter, see what you get back. That'd be really, really interesting. Okay, so for this week, I actually just want to apologise to Isaac Tesher because I meant to mention him last week and I'd written his name down quite early on in the week to remind myself, and then I'd put the piece of paper on my windowsill and started another list. So I want to mention Isaac because I saw a little video that he probably doesn't know that I've seen. It was forwarded to me from someone else, of him and a couple of his year 8 friends making, what are they called, respiratory adapters for the NHS. So he's got a 3D printer and he's been printing these little plastic things which they need for the ventilators in the hospitals. And they've been churning those out and getting them off to the NHS, which is absolutely amazing, Isaac. So well done for doing all of that. That's fantastic that you've got involved like that. So, other things that people have been getting up to, we've got a few people have been doing lovely little community things. So, for example, Etienne has been dropping off like secret packages around his village to people who are vulnerable or maybe live alone, just leaving nice little notes and gifts for people, which is really nice that, to be able to do. I've got Tom and Trenton have got a YouTube channel, which worries me, and I'm not going to search for that. I'm sure lots of you have been online and doing all sorts of things, so just make sure you're staying safe. But yeah, that's great. Anything to keep yourselves entertained. There's Bella and Madeline really amused me this week because they both mentioned FaceTiming each other, and they both sent me a picture of the FaceTime, but from each other's points of view, so I managed to get like both of them together, which was really sweet. So try and keep in touch with your friends as much as you can. Try and speak to them as often as you can. And obviously we've got all this amazing technology for you to be able to use. So that's really great for you all. Hair. There's lots more hair dyeing things coming in. And Joe thought that I should dye my hair pink. Well, as you can see, I haven't done anything to it this week. I kept meaning to, and I've been really busy. I've had loads of meetings, and I was going to do it today, and then I ended up reading my book for a couple of hours, so it just didn't happen today either. Maybe next week. I'm getting to that point now where I might have to go back to work and I maybe can't dye it a crazy colour because I'll have to go back to work, so who knows. So yeah, loads more people dyeing their hair, which again, when we do go back to school, we're going to have a little think about how we all get our hair back to normal again, but for now, I'm not going to worry about it for you guys. Loads more baking. I'm not even kidding. You guys are going to be the generation that can actually cook for themselves, which is amazing. So I've written a load of these down for so many of you. So I've had Millie S has been making pavlova. I don't know how to do that. That's impressive. I've got, Lexi, the thing that she sent me a picture of, I don't know what it was, but it was white chocolate amazingness is what I've written down. I love white chocolate and I would have scoffed all of that. Reese has been baking bread. Let's see what I've got. Lauren making Rocky Road, people making birthday cakes. In fact, Lauren's family were ordering a hot tub for her mum's 40th birthday, which is amazing. I'm so jealous of that. That's a really good idea. And it's really hard having birthdays in lockdown, especially a big one for your mum to be turning 40. That's a really, really good idea. Oh, Amber made her brother's birthday cake. That's impressive. Saw lots of pictures of lots of people doing amazing decorating, things like that. Nathan C made a giant chocolate flapjack. Again, these pictures, I'm salivating looking at them. So please send me more. Really want to see them. Other things that people are getting up to then. Ella McDonald made a big sign for outside her house that said, "After the rain is the rainbow," which is really sweet. And if you've got any kind of really cool quotes, if you want to paint some rocks, hide them around your village, do stuff like that. It's really cheering the whole community up seeing things like that. Eva Rose wrote a story to Blue Peter and got her Blue Peter badge, which is really impressive. So she sent me a copy of the story. Thank you for sending me that. I'll tell you who made me laugh. Alfie Green. He mentioned in his reply to me that he'd made a ball game that he'd beaten his parents at. So I was imagining outside, basketball hoop or whatever. No. When it cut to the video of this game, it was the end of like a little corridor in his house and a toilet roll, like a full toilet roll on the floor, and like either a ping pong ball or a bouncy ball. And the game was you had to stand a certain distance away from it, and you had to bounce the bouncy ball into the hole of the toilet tube, and it looked hilarious. It made me laugh because I was expecting like a proper, sports game. So thank you very much for the laughs there, Alfie. I was having a bit of a rough early start to last week, feeling a bit down in the dumps. That really cheered me up. Will Hayhurst's been out running loads. Quite a few of you have been biking and running, which is absolutely fantastic, trying to keep yourself alert and out there. Sydney sent me a picture with her horse. Again, I'm terrified of horses. All these horsey people out there, you're very brave. I think this picture was Sydney actually going over a jump, which is even more terrifying. Who else have I got on here? I think that's everyone on that. Oh no, Beatrice has learned to crochet, which is really, really impressive. Again, another skill I just don't have. I'm so impressed with all of you. And I guess one of the last things I just wanted to say was congratulations to Oliver, because he's getting a puppy, which is super exciting. His mum's in the NHS, he's been helping do the garden, and they've decided that now is the right time to get a puppy. So good luck with that. Don't expect to get much sleep for a little while, but it'll be worth it in the end. So listen guys, please send me your VE Day photographs, any more baking you've been doing, any more activities, anything you've been up to. It's getting tough to stay on top of schoolwork. I know that. I'm finding it more and more difficult myself, and my children really struggling going into week 8, although I appreciate 2 of those weeks were Easter. Please try and do some stuff every day to keep your brain ticking over. Make sure you're reading. I would absolutely love to know the kinds of... If you've read something amazing recently, tell me what it was. I can even mention some next week, because some people might be running out of ideas. What do we read? What should we do? Even if you don't do a scrapbook task for each of them, just keep a little log of the things that you've been reading. I know that I've read a number of books now, and I've actually written them all down today so I didn't forget, because I've read quite a few that were really good and I want to recommend them when I go back to school. So yeah, tell me what you've been reading, tell me what you've been making, and I really do love your messages. It does take me a long time to go through them, but it's the best bit of my week, going through all of the responses to you guys online. So please do that, and have a really great week. Do some work. If you can, do as much as you can. And if you're really struggling with anything, just send a message or email your teacher, because they'd probably prefer a message on the VLE. But if you just let them know that you can't do this, or you haven't been able to get on the computer for that, or whatever, obviously we're very understanding. We all know we've all got families and whatnot. So guys, stay safe, and we'll find out tonight what Boris has got to say. Oh, because I'm filming this on Sunday so that it posts so you can all see it on Monday morning. Gave away my secret.